This is a question that will probably be very, very beloved to the hearts of many of the sisters. The question is, what is the guidance on adding a clause in the nikah contract? I.e., my husband cannot marry another woman whilst he is married to me.
I think it's a sign of insecurity, to be honest with you. We should be so confident with ourselves and our iman and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and our relationships that as much as some might argue, there are two opinions. Some of the scholars say it's allowed because it's up to you. And some of them say, well, it's not allowed because it goes against the very grain of the reason of getting married. So that fiqhi jurisprudence argument is in its place. I don't want to side with any one of them, but I would believe that, I found people then doing things behind the backs of their wives. I'm one who doesn't promote or demote something of this nature. Meaning if a person marries again or not, it totally depends on them, their situation, their surroundings, their environment, whether it's feasible or not. I've seen really, really beautiful homes shredded to pieces and totally destroyed because of another marriage. And I've seen others where it has brought so much of goodness and support and love that it's unbelievable, So I'm no one to promote or demote. I don't know your particular situation. You might just be diving into something that's going to mess the rest of your life. So you need to actually think very deeply. You need to have built, the whole situation. You cannot just come home one day and say, that's it, it's happening, So putting a clause is a little bit tricky. I cannot really, I don't even want to encourage that, because if that's the case, we might have another 20 clauses to put sometimes, and people will start adding all sorts of clauses. But like I said, from a jurisprudence perspective, there is difference of opinion whether it is a valid clause or not a valid clause. So if the guy really wants to do it, he's going to tell you, listen, according to such and such a scholar, it's not even a valid clause. So there you go. I think, like I said, it's a sign of insecurity. I mean, you might disagree with me. I really don't mind, because, it's just my opinion. It may be a sign that, if I were to put a clause to say you cannot do that, I think it would say a lot about me. I'm so insecure that I really feel that I'm not, this might happen and so on. But look, at the end of the day, your situation. People might want to add it for whatever reason. If the guy's agreed, he comes to us, then asking us another ruling to say, am I allowed to break the clause? What are the damages? What would happen? And like I say, there is a sickness that I can talk about, totally away from this. Society sometimes is more forgiving when it comes to something haram than when it comes to halal. And that's actually a trap of the devil. So when it comes to something haram, people are quick to say, well, it's okay, it's fine, he did this and it's okay. It's okay with you, but was it okay with Allah? And then sometimes when something is okay with Allah and not okay with society really is unforgiving. They say, no way, it's not happening. And I think we need to deal with our own iman. I think we need to deal with our own situation, connection with Allah. The problem we're facing, and I can tell you a reality, a lot of guys out there, they haven't lived a proper life with their own spouses. They haven't shown that they're loving and kind and supportive and so on. And yet they're busy, trying to look into other avenues of increasing the number of wives they have, when they haven't even proven themselves as a person or as a good husband in the case that is there. Some people use that as an excuse to say, well, you know what, how are you going to do justice to them when you haven't even done justice to one? Sometimes it's just a statement they say in order to get out of it. But what we definitely should know is, and I'm going back to what I started with, I cannot give you a ruling to say, guys, do it or don't do it. It all depends on it's not something farad, remember that. It all depends on your situation, your, environment, your family, your surroundings, everything around you. That might make it the biggest mistake in your life, or it might be the best thing you've ever done. So that's what it is.